Koh Phi Phi is undoubtedly one of the most well-known Thai islands, and for many a good reason. In this vlog, I'm going to show you everything I got up to, give you an idea of prices, activities, and hopefully inspire you to plan your own trip to this incredible place. After some hectic weeks in Bangkok and a few days in Phuket, I was very ready to move into the Thai island lifestyle, which started with a 3-hour ferry that got in an hour and a half late because in Thailand, time does not matter. I arrived at my hostel quite late in the afternoon, but it had one of the most amazing views ever. I paid around €16 a night for a 4-bedroom dorm with the seafront view. So this is the view from my hostel. This isn't bad at all, is it? No, it's not. It is amazing, actually. It's right on the water, like it's a metre away from me. I actually love this location as it was a little further away from the main party area down in the centre of the beach and a little bit out of the main town, but I could still easily access everything from there. It also meant it was a little bit quieter in the evening because if you stay anywhere near the main beach you will hear music going all night long and there is no way around it. Obviously the first thing I had to do was go for a swim, so I immediately headed down to the beach, submerged myself and floated around in the water for a good hour, after putting on sunblock of course. Unfortunately this main beach doesn't feel that clean, the water isn't that nice, there's lots of longtail boats around and some weird floaty stuff, so not my favourite beach, but luckily there are other ones on the island like Long Beach that are much nicer and you can get to by longtail boat for around 100 baht per person. After my lovely swim and freshening up a bit, I went into my basic Thai travelling mode and got pad Thai and mango sticky rice for dinner, which was absolutely fantastic. I also got a delicious donut, which I've been told is the best on the island and the price point is fantastic, so I would definitely recommend it if you need a sweet fix. As the sun was going down, I figured I would take a walk out onto the beach. The tide had gone out and I thought it would be nice to walk along the sand. However, I soon discovered that there were crabs everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I was so shocked that no one else was staring at them because it was actually a really cool sight to see. When you step too close they would all disappear back into their little holes after they'd been having their battles. I really enjoyed watching them for a little bit, to be honest. Then I obviously had to sit on the balcony and watch the sunset, which was absolutely lovely, a very quintessential Thai day. Now, I'm not going to lie, even though I didn't party, I was absolutely exhausted and I slept in most of the next morning, as I knew I was going to be having a big day, so this was rather beneficial. Someone I'd met while I was travelling had recommended me to go on the Phi Phi Pirate Boat, which is kind of just a different version of one of the day tours that goes to Phi Phi Don and some of the locations there. I figured it would be a great experience and I might make some new friends, so I headed down and hopped on the boat. First of all, we made our way down towards Monkey Beach. I met some lovely people this day from the UK, Canada and Australia, so I definitely recommend it from a meeting people perspective. It's kind of a party vibe, but also there was a child on board, so... Our first destination was Monkey Beach, which I was very excited for, as in my entire Southeast Asia trip, which has been multiple months, I've only seen one monkey, and that was at Angkor Wat. Luckily, we were treated to dozens of monkeys, all the way from old souls to little babies, and it was so incredible to see them up close, kind of in their natural habitat. Unfortunately, even though it was really cool to see them, I don't understand human beings sometimes. I was really disappointed to see that a lot of people didn't understand that monkeys are in fact wild animals and that you shouldn't be touching them or letting them climb on you or pulling their tails or taunting them or feeding them. So just looking at it from an ethical standpoint, it kind of really put a dampener on the whole experience. And I know someone will say, oh, it's just 1 or 2 people. No, it's not. There were actually a lot of people doing that sort of thing. I just don't see how people can think it's okay to treat a wild animal like a domesticated one and use it as a source of amusement, but apparently people just really like enjoying themselves on holiday. If you are a little bit afraid of the monkeys though, they don't go in the water, so if you want to get away from them, you can just walk back down into the water where all the long tail boats that take people in and out are. From here we got back on the boat and made our way round to Maya Bay, which other than being a beautiful beach is most well known for being the filming location of the movie The Beach. This place is very crowded. Luckily you can find a spot on the beach to take a photo or a video reasonably easily. Now I do need to say a lot of information can be kind of deceiving about this place, and I need to clarify that you can't actually swim at this beach. It was closed a few years ago due to 3 million plus people visiting each year and obviously wreaking havoc on the marine biology and the ecosystem. So whilst it is reopened now, they don't allow people to swim there.
What are you supposed to do though? That's always my question.
I know. I like being behind the camera for that reason.
You can kind of walk in up to about your knees, maybe your hips, but any further than that and you're going to start getting yelled at by the security guys there, who honestly aren't the friendliest Thai people I've met. It is still kind of fun to be able to splash around, and it does seem a little bit ridiculous, although it is understandable they want to protect the environment. We then played some spike ball and took some photos together as the sun went down before we headed back to the boat to do some snorkeling in the bay on the opposite side. At this stage of the day, it was absolutely beautiful and we got to jump off the boat, some jumps of which were more successful than others as I'm really bad at judging my backflips, but I love jumping off high things. We also then went snorkeling, which was incredible. There are some magnificent corals around there and I would have loved to do diving while I was on Koh Phi Phi, but I do have problematic ears to say the least, so this was definitely enough for me. We then kayaked round to a secret beach as well that looks back towards Maya Bay, and I actually found it really entertaining as obviously it had closed for the day and suddenly there was no one there when a few hours ago it was completely packed. After all of this activity, it was time to head back to the boat, sit still for a while and watch the sunset. It was so incredible and I don't really think I can put it into words, so I suppose I'll just let the videotape run for this one. Once the sun had gone down, it was time to head back towards Phi Phi, but already people were really getting in the party mood, and I'm talking free shots on a boat where you then can't tell if the reason you're stumbling is because the boat is moving and you're seasick or because you might be getting a little tipsy. When we got back, I decided to have my first wild party night in Southeast Asia with a few of the people I'd met on the boat. Along the way, I found some of the crazy stuff that was happening on the beach, where the loud music that had been keeping me up at night was coming from. And wow, this was really wild. I don't know how else to describe it, because the amount of skill and concentration and ability that doing something like this actually requires, I don't think is comprehensible or understandable for a lot of people. And for anything else, my only answer is that health and safety in Asia don't go in the same sentence. We first stopped at Reggae Bar, which is well known for its impromptu fights, where basically someone can volunteer to fight someone else who's stepped up in the ring and is kind of being toured around. Whilst it seems like a fun idea, I did find that it ended up being a really ego-driven environment, which is not it at all, because I always think when you're fighting someone, you should show a degree of respect for the other person, and this really wasn't the case. We also stopped at Slinky's and a few other places, and I'm not gonna lie, I still went to bed reasonably early because I like going to sleep early. However, it was an absolute blast. The next day I headed up to Viewpoint number 1 and 2 on the hill, which you have to pay a 50 baht entrance fee for, but it is well worth it. There are many steps to get up there, but the views are absolutely incredible, and it's really cool to be able to see the island from a different perspective. It makes all the little narrow streets and alleyways look so insignificant, as when you're in them they have a very claustrophobic aspect. I enjoyed the different perspective for a while before realising that I was rather hot and sweaty from my walk, so I decided to head around to a different beach, Long Beach, on the other side of the island.
So I'm on my way to Long Beach right now. Usually you would just take like a short tail boat round, it's like 100 baht, but unfortunately I'm really short on cash and I don't want to take any out because I have like a deposit, but at any rate, it's lovely. This is like, it's a hard walk, it's a lot of hiking, and also it's really hot right now, it's like 2 p.m. But I've seen like a couple of people driving motorcycles. I've seen a couple of locals driving motorbikes, but that's it. It's actually a really nice walk, although it is hard.
I still made it there and went for a lovely swim. It was much nicer than the main beach, and I would definitely recommend popping around here instead. There were still quite a lot of people, but it had a lovely atmosphere, and I even found my own hanging beach chair, which I really enjoyed sitting in after my swim. I then went back and had an easy evening before getting up early the next morning to catch my ferry back to Phuket so I could then catch a flight to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia the next day. I hope you've enjoyed spending this time in this beautiful place with me, and regardless of whether you're travelling here or not, have enjoyed the video, found something useful in it, and you're subscribed to continue joining me on my adventures around the world. Toodles!